What's going on, guys? This is an In the Pocket podcast. I'm Logan Martin. Going to be doing the divisional round of the playoffs solo today, but I'm going to cover each game. Starting off with the Bills versus the Broncos. Denver favored by 1.5 points. Yesterday, the Bills were favored by 1.5 points, so it looks like the line is completely flipped. But my opinion hasn't changed on this game. Looking at the Broncos, they've been in a lot of one-score games this season. Really haven't been able to pull away other than that one Dallas game. Nothing really in my mind is standing out that tells me the Broncos can just pull away and in situations where they need to handle business. You look at games like the New York Jets, that was tight till the finish. The Titans, they won by 8. The Eagles, they had to come back and win. The Giants, they had to come back and win. Raiders, they won by 3. The Commanders, they snuck away with a win by 1 as a significantly better team on the road on prime time. Like all these signs are telling me two things: that one, the Broncos can win in pressure situations, and two, they can't really handle business and just put a game away. Yeah, so Broncos, I think they have a mediocre run game as well. J.K. Dobbins has been out with injury for a while now, and Harvey, the rookie running back out of UCF, has had to take on a big role in the offense. And up front, I think they're sturdy, but the skill position, there's no real superstars. And going up against this Bills defense, which I think is really good, not against the run, but more specifically against the pass, like the disguises, the mixing coverages. One thing watching the film, they made Trevor Lawrence really had to think out there. He couldn't tell based on the shell of the coverage what coverage they're in. So just different disguises, safeties rotating, corner blitzes. They're throwing the book at Trevor Lawrence, and I think they could do the same here against the Denver Broncos. And you look at the Broncos, like I said, other than Cortland Sutton, there's no real superstars on that team offensively. So I think the Bills can really make Bo Nix have to think out there and really make him have to play a really good game to win a playoff game, even at home in Denver, where they've really handled business. So they're 14-3. They have a great record outside of a couple losses in their early part of the season. They started 1-2, so they've been on fire. So it's not going to just be easy for the Bills to just come in here and trust that Josh Allen's going to give him this win. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take the offense and defense, and it's going to take them to have a really good game plan. The Bills offensively had a great game plan. I thought the play calling was great. I thought Josh Allen played great. Obviously, a couple of receivers go down with injury. It'll be interesting to see who goes out there and plays receiver for him today in Mile High. But they got Josh Allen. Dalton Kincaid's been back. James Cook, the Bills going to have to figure out how to get James Cook involved in the offense a little bit more. And if it's not in the run game, how about getting him the ball in space out in the pass game? So the Bills going to have a great game plan. I can trust that, though, because I thought they had a great game plan up against the Jaguars. It really pieced them apart. The Broncos love the blitz as well. It's going to leave holes out on the field for Josh Allen. So I just have a feeling that the Bills are going to come in to Denver and handle business and get a win, regardless of the injuries they're facing on offense. I'm not going to just say it's Josh Allen, because it's more than that. The pass defense really impresses me, and I think that's the main part of this Broncos offense is finding a little bit in the run game, going play action, and getting some Cortland Sutton, Mims, Troy Franklin, either on a screen or out in space and play action. So I just think the Bills have a good offensive and defensive game plan for this Broncos game. So give me the Bills to win this game 24-20 on the road, stun the Broncos, and move on to the AFC Championship game. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers going to play the Seattle Seahawks. Currently, the Seahawks are favored by 7 points, and I think that spread's 100% correct. Could be even more. I watched the film of the 49ers game against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I was impressed by the 49ers. They again, the narrative of their team all season long is they've had guys injured. They've had guys out, and Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh have had to make the best of what they had. And they did that against the Philadelphia Eagles. And watching the film, you could see the mind behind Kyle Shanahan and why he's one of the best offensive coaches in the NFL. He's watching the tape, watching the Eagles, watching their slot corners, how they play leverage, really putting their butts to the sideline, not allowing anything outside the numbers, and a lot of situations. So what did Kyle Shanahan do? He dialed up a route tree for Demarcus Robinson and others to really expose that, stemming outside, pressing like he's going to go attack outside the numbers, and just cuts it across the face and breaks it in upfield. And that led to the Demarcus Robinson 61 yarder in the first quarter, and it also led to a touchdown there early in the game as well, just exposing how those slot corners and cornerbacks played leverage for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's pretty much all they could find, because that Eagles defense is really good, but it seemed like the 49ers were crawling and had to really fight to get every first down in that game. Nothing really came easy, but Christian McCaffrey looked really good. He looks really healthy. He's moving really nice. I think he looks a lot better than Saquon Barkley, especially in that last game, just his movement. But I think part of that could be due to the Eagles play calling and the 49ers play calling, the difference in that. But, the 49ers they don't have what it takes to do what they did against Philadelphia here again on the road against Seattle, a divisional opponent who knows them well. That's going to be a disadvantage. I know they know each other, but one team's a lot better than the other. I know we're talking about Sam Darnold, who might be a little bit hurt because of the injury news all week, but he's going to be good to go most likely. I just think the Seahawks are much more balanced offensively, defensively, and in special teams with what Shaheed has done. Excuse me, with what Shaheed has done for the Seahawks in the punt return game. So look at the depth chart right now for the Seahawks. They look healthy offensively and defensively. Torrey Horton, obviously, on the IR. A couple guys at the running back position. Offensive and defensive linemen look healthy. Linebackers look healthy, and so do the DBs. So, the Seahawks are ready to play. One team's healthy, one team's not. One team's better than the other, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. So I think they're going to handle business. They're going to find a way to get Kenneth Walker involved in the run game and Charbonnet and just wear down on that defensive line for the 49ers. So I just think the 49ers are going to get wore down by the fourth quarter, and this is just going to be a blowout, and Sam Darnold finally gets that big playoff win. So give me the Seattle Seahawks to win 30-17 at home in the divisional round of the playoffs. Next game, we got the Houston Texans on the road to face the New England Patriots at 3 o'clock on Sunday. Patriots favored by 3 points at home. And outside of the defense for Houston, the storyline needs to be Nico Collins is out. I think he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. And Nico Collins has played 15 games this year, so not the complete season. He's been banged up for a couple games. But, still 1,100 receiving yards, 15 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns. He's a deep field threat who's also 6'4", 220 pounds. He's an elite wide receiver, someone that any team would love to have. And with him not being in this game, it just, wow. I mean, look at what CJ Stroud did against the Steelers and the turnover problems he had. So I don't know what they're going to be able to do. I know Nico Collins wasn't a huge part of the receiving game against the Steelers, only 3 catches for 21 yards. But that doesn't mean he can't do something like that against Patriots. But with him out, he's not available. So what are they going to do in the pass game? Who are they going to look to? It's probably going to be Jaden Higgins, who's really impressed me this season. A rookie receiver who really turned it up in the second half of the season, scoring a few touchdowns and a couple really solid games. He's a really good option for CJ Stroud, and I think he'll be a good player for this Houston organization. But without Nico Collins, I can't see the offense finding any rhythm against this New England defense. Is really good. Not as good as the Houston Texans, but when you look at who they have to game plan against, I don't really see a huge threat from the Houston Texans. I'm a Patriots fan. You guys know that. So I think the Patriots are going to handle business. I know that defense is going to pose problems. They're going to come up with probably 4 or 5 sacks. But I just trust that the Patriots are going to handle business. One thing about Vrabel is they have a bad game. They always turn it around. They figure something out and they don't repeat their mistakes. But this is the NFL. Anyone can lose any given Sunday or Saturday. So, but in this case, give me the Patriots to handle business at home, 20-16. Last game, we got the LA Rams on the road to play the Bears. Pretty sure it's going to be snowing in this game. 69% chance of light snow showers and 20-mile-an-hour winds, reaching 27-mile-an-hour winds in the Windy City. It's going to live up to its name. So, yeah, weather's going to be a factor in this game. Winds, snow. One team's used to that. That's Chicago, plays in the Windy City. One team's not used to that. They play in Los Angeles. I don't know, man. But one thing about the Rams, They thrive in 13 personnel, 12 personnel. They thrive with multiple tight ends out on that field. And it just really helps the run game. And then it can add to the pass game as well when you go to play action or use those tight ends in the pass game, which they do a lot. Colby Parkinson, Tyler Higbee, Terrence Ferguson, even Davis Allen, all four tight ends used in this offense for the Rams. So I think this might be the best tight end room in the NFL. I can't name another NFL team that uses all four of their tight ends like the LA Rams do. So I think that puts the Rams at an advantage. Everyone's talking about Matt Stafford, how he does in the snow, how he does in the wind, whatever it is with the weather. But this LA offensive game plan is based around an offensive running formation, multiple tight ends, motions, receivers who can get involved in the pass game. But it's not like the LA Rams are coming in heavy and shotgun like the Kansas City Chiefs are with no run game. That's not the LA Rams. They are balanced. They have running backs who can get it done. They have really good receivers to throw to, one of the best receiver rooms in the NFL. And then the tight ends, who I just claim to be probably the best tight end room in the NFL. I'm going to stand on it. So I think that puts the Rams at an advantage when you consider the weather. They have a balanced offense. So it's not like they're going to have to air it out and have to rely on Matt. They put a lot on Matt Stafford. He throws the ball a lot. But I trust Sean McVay to put something together to just keep this offense moving the chains in the snow. It's the Chicago Bears defense we're talking about, man. It's not like the Bears defense has been something we've really trusted this whole season. They sucked in a lot of spots in a lot of weeks. So I think the LA Rams are going to move the football on the Bears. I know the Bears are used to the snow. I know they're used to the wind, the weather, and they really have a great offensive game plan, just like the Rams do. Ben Johnson's done a great job. The run game looks great. The pass game looks great. Caleb Williams looks like an elite quarterback. Looks like Ben Johnson has saved his career. So, yeah, with all that being said, I just think the LA Rams have too much for them, and they're going to come in to Chicago and take care of them. It's going to be a 28-20 game. LA Rams are going to find a way to put points on the board in the snow. So that's all I got. Those are the 4 games in the divisional round of the playoffs. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Tune in to our recap. That'll probably be coming out Monday or Tuesday. But enjoy the games. Enjoy your Saturday and Sunday. Peace.